In this video, we're going to talk about a little more of a compound probability. Another video, we talked about simple probability using one of these three items for our probability. Now we're going to actually combine the two together. So we're going to start in this particular video. We're going to talk about the coin, using the coin in conjunction with a standard number cube. So the coin, when we talk about probability, let's say what's the probability of coming up with heads? It becomes 1 out of 2. That gives me that probability. When I deal with a number cube, let's say, okay, I want a 4. Okay, so what's the probability of getting a 4? There is 1 4 on the cube out of 6 possible numbers. So when we look at what the probability is going to be of rolling a heads and then a 4, it's 1/2 times 1/6. We're going to multiply the two together. Okay, that's going to give me 1 times 1, which is 1, and 2 times 6, which is 12. So that gives me so many different combinations, 12 different combinations, and only one of them is going to give me what I'm looking for. So when we look at that, there's several different ways for us to replace that, represent that. So if we go heads and tails, we do a table method, okay? Heads and tails there, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, some people, it works better with this way, and some people it works better with the tree diagram, and I'll show you that one as well in just a moment. So heads in 1, heads in 2, heads in 3, heads in 4, heads in 5, heads in 6, tails in 1, tails in 2, tails in 3, tails in 4, tails in 5, tails in 6. So that gives me all of my options. And as you can see, I have the 12 options that I originally came up with. And how many of them are heads and then 4? And there's only one, which is that one, heads and 4. All right. So what happens if I have these two and I say, okay, what happens if I go tails and an odd number? Okay. So we're going to go tails and odd. Okay. So how many do I have it with the tails? I have 6 with the tails. All right. So that gives me my denominator. Or actually, out of my total, I still have my 12 total. Now I have 6 that have a tails. And how many of those that have tails also have an odd number? 1, 2, and 3. So that gives me 3 possible choices out of 12 combinations. We can simplify the 3/12 into 1/4. So the probability of flipping a tail and then rolling a number that is odd is 1 out of 4, even though we have an opportunity to roll 12 times. Okay? Thank you.